In this episode, we look back on 2024 to talk news and highlights before discussing what we are excited for in 2025. Today's December 31st, 2024, and this is episode 733 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Ready for your next bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
Well, happy New Year's Eve, everyone.
Yes, Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2025 already.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like this year, they say it goes by quicker when you get older. I feel like it really does.
It definitely does.
It's scary.
Well, and this year, I want to say, like, looking back, which we're going to do, not only just like Disney World in general and things that happened there, but like our highlights and all. Like, it was going back, you go, wow, that was like this past year.
Yeah.
Because it either seems like it was forever ago or it just happened.
Correct.
But nothing feels like it actually happened in this past year. But time has been nothing, I guess, really to me since 2020. So it's never felt the same since then. But we had such a busy year.
We did. And I just don't see it slowing down, which is exciting and scary.
Yeah.
But I guess first and foremost, I want to thank you and thank everybody for this past year.
Yeah.
You know, just like cast members, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all because we would not be where we are without y'all.
Yeah, we had a big year. We had a great year
We did.
As far as the podcast goes and growing and our partnership with MEI-Travel and all. It's just been awesome. So, and yeah, we wouldn't be doing this episode at the end of the year, getting ready for next year, if it wasn't for you guys clicking subscribe, listening every week, following us on the social media channels. So seriously, thank y'all so much. So we'll do a couple little sections here. We're going to start with kind of just a year in review, some things that happened this past year. We're going to stick to Walt Disney World because if we went to Disney news in general all around the world, parks and resorts and movies and all that stuff, this would be like a 10-part episode. So we'll stick to Walt Disney World. But you go back the very beginning in January, there was a lot of updates. All-day park hopping returned. Theme park reservations were gone for date-based tickets. Disney dining plan returns.
And that's crazy because it does not feel like that was almost a year ago.
Right.
Like,
I know.
That now seems like it was forever ago, which I was very happy when all this happened.
Yeah, and we do these episodes every year, and I can like remember like it was yesterday, sitting here going, oh, you know, the dining plan's coming back January 9th.
Yeah.
Because January 9th was such a big day.
Yeah.
You know, this was 4 years, 3.5 after everything reopened after COVID, and you were still getting things like all-day park hopper and no reservations for resort or for date-based tickets.
Yep.
Like, it took that long. So it was, and that's, I think, another thing that makes the time either go so slow or so fast.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you said, it feels like this has been going on for years now.
Yeah, it does.
It is not. Come May, they introduced a new drone show at Disney Springs, Disney Dreams That Soar. This ran from the end of May to September 2nd. We got to see it several times.
Yes, we did.
Let's first talk about our enjoyment of it.
I loved it. It
Yes,
was wonderful.
It was.
It
We
was
loved it.
incredible. It was neat to watch. I would, I think, love to have actually been a Disney worker and worked at maybe Haleo or something.
Yeah, the cast members were not big fans of this.
No, I know. That's what I mean. Like inside,
Yeah.
we're like basically Chris was.
Right. And yeah, the thing with this was this was only great if you were there to see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this was a mess every single night.
Yeah,
it was awful for cast
sad.
member. It was awful for guests that were just there trying to enjoy themselves because of the influx of traffic and all those areas near Haleo and down the House of Blues. Like, it was just a nightmare all around. Now, I hope that they'll bring this back to somewhere else. I don't know where that would be. I would love to see this in Animal Kingdom. You know, because you have... You don't have fireworks. You don't have those the noises. You don't have to worry about the animals.
Right.
You can still play music. They've obviously done that before, and you have all the seating, like you're saying. So I would like.
And
to
I
see
think it'd
something
be
come
neat
back.
to see one fall in the water. Like,
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean,
that's one thing that was.
Well, that's the
I thought
thing
was
too.
funny.
Is that's the one thing that, of course, I'm not aware of with this technology is the distance. Like, now I know how far away we were. In theory from this show, but is it like, all right, is that theater at Animal Kingdom, or would you be too close if they're literally taking off right in front of you, or would they have to sit further back, like above the Tree of Life, and that's where your viewing is? I don't know. And of course, with all of these, you have to be so careful with where these are operating because they can't be above people. Unfortunately, it was a very tragic accident recently at this Christmas show down in the Orlando area. And with drones falling out of the sky. And so they have to be careful on where they can put them. So that's another reason, like in the theme
park. Smart over water.
Is right. Which is the whole reason that's the way they did this one. They had everything staged. It went off from that parking lot over near Cirque du Soleil. And then it was actually occurring over the water. So anything that did fall was falling into water. So you have to be very careful with that and those types of things. So we'll see if something like that comes back. But June was another big time, especially for Epcot. And June 10th, the opening of Communicore Hall and Plaza, the opening of Mickey and Friends' new meet and greet, as well as Celebration de Encanto. Even though there is still some stuff kind of going on in that area, this was, according to Disney, the official end of the Epcot transformation.
Okay.
We got
took long
Moana
enough.
The year before. It took long enough.
Yeah.
And are you pleased with the outcome of where it is right now and how it is right now?
I mean, sure, I'm pleased that the walls are down and things are out of the way. Am I pleased with what is there? I'm shocked that there's not, and I hope Disney has more. I think for as long as the walls were up and everything that was annoying, I think it's a very big letdown for what's there.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of nothing.
But, whatever.
No, agreed. And we're still seeing, as far as Communicore Hall and Plaza and that flex space goes, we're still seeing what they're going to do with it. Because now each festival, with Festival of the Arts coming up here in 2 weeks, is going to have even more. It's supposed to have a little history walkthrough of Broadway, Disney on Broadway.
Okay.
So
good.
So it looks like they're trying to figure out more.
Right.
It should not be taking this long. This should have been done long before. It should have been, hey, this is what these spaces are going to be. This is how they're going to operate.
Right.
And they're going to do it from day one. So we'll see how that goes. Later in June, we got the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Magic Kingdom.
Your favorite.
My fave. I love it. And we have been several times on it. Magic Kingdom in many of the ways that we used to make reservations for Epcot, because while date-based reservations are gone, us pass holders still get to make reservations for parks. I'm constantly making them for Magic Kingdom now when we used to not, just to get on this. I mean, we did it with Tron for a while.
Correct.
So,
and I feel like we've gotten back to, when you say get back to the basics, I feel like Magic Kingdom is a basic.
It is.
And, our kids are grown now and older that they don't ride all these rides. But, I mean, we've still gotten back to the basics and ridden stuff and enjoyed walking around. And
if you go back to when the kids were coming, and we would talk about parks or park rankings, like Magic Kingdom was one of our favorites when they were very young, and then they get a little bit older and it becomes like Hollywood Studios, whatever. Then kids stopped coming with us as they got older, Magic Kingdom, I think, was our 4th favorite park for years.
For years.
And now, with the opening of Tron, the opening of Tiana's, it's gotten us back into that park so much more. And I think we're loving it. Like right now, it is my favorite park.
Yeah.
And I love going back there and actually just doing some of the basic things, like going into the confectionery and getting treats or getting the popcorn or
I
just
still have some of that.
You know, I mean, how many times I bet in this past year we rode something like Haunted.
Oh yeah.
And something like Pirates more just in this past year
Yep.
than we did in the 5 years combined.
Probably.
Because we ride them every time we go now, and we go there a lot more often.
We do.
Also, in July, on July 1st, the cabins. DVC makes its way into Fort Wilderness Resort and opens up the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. Yay, nay, we have not stayed in one yet.
Yeah, we haven't. Maybe, I started to say maybe this July for my birthday, but
I think we have other plans we're working on
Lacey
there.
is making other plans for me.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. I'm not worried. So
we'll stay there at some point and give our true opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will be great for just Jeremy and I. You know.
Yeah. And I don't want to sound like rude or cocky, but if you want a real true, I feel like, opinion of the cabins, wait till we stay in them and give you ours. And the only reason I say that is because we have done Fort Wilderness for almost 20 years now. We've been staying there. We have done it every way possible. We've done it with kids, without kids. We've done it with pets, without pets. We've done it in tents. We've done it, with the pop-up camper that we own, with renting. Every type of camper possible, pretty much.
The driving one.
Yeah, the driving kind, your pull behinds, the fifth wheels. We've done it. We've done the old cabins. We've done this in every way possible, and we love Fort Wilderness. Yeah, and we've even car camped. So we love Fort Wilderness. So for us, I'm super excited to stay in them and really go, all right, here's what we think.
Correct. And especially compared to the old ones.
Right. I mean, and again, no offense to anyone,
correct,
but so many of the people that are talking about the cabins, or there's 50-50 of the people that hate them because it's destroying Fort Wilderness and the tradition. They're the people that know Fort Wilderness very well. They've been going there forever, but haven't stayed in a cabin. Then you got the people on the other side, and a lot of those were the media and the people that were invited out to those types of things.
Okay.
They had never even stepped foot in Fort Wilderness prior to staying in one of these new cabins, so they think they're the greatest thing that's ever happened. They don't know if it's ruining what Fort Wilderness was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why folks like us who have done it for so long in so many different ways, we've been there through, a lot of the changes in the last decade or two. That's the ones I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So we'll see this year, but I definitely want to stay there. July was a big month because we also got the reopening of the Country Bears with the Country Bear Musical Jamboree.
I like the change.
I do too.
I like it a lot. In fact, we should have sat the last time we went to Magic Kingdom, but we didn't. I'd sit through it again. Like, I enjoy it. It's fun.
But simple fact is, we've seen this twice since it opened back in July, which again is probably the same amount of times that we saw the previous version in a 5-year span.
Oh, yeah.
So I really love the update. I think it's great. It's a perfect way of blending, I think, old and new for Disney. And I know it didn't make everyone happy, but they tried to do something to make everyone happy. So also that month, Genie Plus was gone. We were introduced to Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Lightning Lane Single Pass. I hate to say it, nobody wants to pay for this stuff. We don't want to pay for this stuff. When you pay for this stuff, though, this works very well.
Yeah,
and it's
great.
I think it's the best version since free FastPass Plus.
I will agree.
Right. So you just gotta get used to it, and I think this one potentially could have a longer life than Genie Plus.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I agree.
In August, we're not going to go over all this stuff, but D23, huge announcements of things to come.
But that was all in the works.
Nothing
was just allegedly or
no
blue sky. It was literally Permits have been pulled.
Yeah.
Ground dirt is moving. Something's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Cars Land,
Yep.
Villains Land,
Yep.
Monsters Inc. Land, South America with Indy and Kanto. We're getting a ton of it. Will we see any of these open in 2025? We will not.
No.
But you will start to see the effects of them. We already have with, some walls going up, cranes going up in Magic Kingdom.
That
Big
was
Thunder
cool.
closing here in January for the year. Part of that will be to refurb it. Part of that will be as they start to prep and get Cars
Wow.
Land, Villains Land. So you're going to start to see a lot. Most recently, not at D23, we found that Monsters Inc. Land will take out Muppets Courtyard.
Oh.
Muppets Vision 3D.
That's right.
And we will get the
Rock and Roller
Muppets in
Coaster.
Rock and Roller Coaster. So very interesting there.
Yep.
Come October, along with Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass, if it wasn't confusing enough, you now have Lightning Lane Premier Pass.
So that is where they are trying to be like Universal a little bit.
Yeah, it's Universal's Express Pass,
right.
pretty much. The
Except
one-time
one
Express
time.
Pass, yeah.
One time.
Not the unlimited. This ranges in the hundreds of dollars per person per day.
It does.
Originally open to deluxe resort guests only. It is now open to everyone.
Yep.
It was selling out Christmas week, so
That's
it's being used.
amazing, yeah.
Let's see what happens to Lightning Lanes, over the course. Is there at a point where all of a sudden this is the only option like Universal? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. December, DVC got their Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows. That also included the opening of Walulu Bar and Grill. So I know that this feels more like a new resort because it is a full building. It's got a lobby, it's got a pool, and it's got a restaurant and all. The Cabins was still an opening for DVC, so you got two major openings for DVC this year.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts on, I know we just last episode, if you go back, we reviewed Walulu Bar and Grill.
Oh, it was amazing.
But happy with the addition.
Very
Sad?
happy.
Yeah.
I think it adds major points to it. Like, I think it's just fantastic. I'm excited. I'm excited to stay back and see. I'm actually very excited to see what it will do to the Polynesian.
Yeah.
And how cheap of a room can we get there? And maybe, we could. That'd be cool.
And one of those things, you'd have to go out to all the data people. It'd be interesting to watch what things do at Poly as far as a Trader Sam's and Ohana's, just Tambu at times that it's bit like, what is everything there going to look like with this new tower open and these all being shared amenities? That part will be super interesting. Does the pool feel more crowded at the main Poly pool? Like, what is all that going to feel like with this being open? Because it's the biggest addition to a resort since like a Grand Destino, obviously, when you're putting in these towers and
That's
all.
true.
So, and we think Grand Destino has gone pretty well. All right, let's talk about the year that we had in Disney parks.
Yes.
This amounted to 26 trips.
Over the course of the entire year.
Of the course of the year, 26 separate
I feel
trips.
like that's not as many as there has been in past years.
That's two of them
Okay.
a month.
Okay.
And that amounted to 74 total days in Central Florida in the Orlando theme park area, which
That's
is
a lot of days.
It's 20% of the year.
Wow.
So while I believe this year and I'd have to go back last year and see what it was. This year, our number of trips was less, but our average nights per trip was more.
Okay.
2023, we did a lot more like one night trips, and we did a couple day trips. I think we did one day trip this entire year.
Okay.
We did a lot of 3-night trips.
Yeah.
And a lot of even just 2 nights. So I think that's where our days really went up.
Okay.
But let's just talk real quick about each month. And these are ones, if you want to go back into our catalog of episodes over the past year, listen to some trip review episodes. These are some of our favorite trips. Let's start with January. This was not at Walt Disney World, but we did start our year in the theme parks at least.
We did. Right? Kaylin, our big girl, turned 16. So we took her on the day of to get her license, and then after that we were like, we can do whatever you want. And I asked if she wanted a 16th birthday party or a trip, and she picked a trip, and she wanted to go to Universal with Talon, so we bought him a ticket, and we were all like, the kids were getting over sick.
Yeah.
I was getting over sick. Jeremy, I think, got sick maybe on the back end. It was but it was still great. I was a little tired, but the whole trip was fantastic. The kids had fun.
Like we had to power through it.
We really did.
And then we did, remember, it was a Friday night we did over at Endless Summer, because then we moved Saturday. We were doing parks Saturday and Sunday. We wanted the Express Pass Unlimited, so we checked into Hard Rock on Saturday. So we were moving resorts, and then we were hitting the parks hard.
Yeah.
And even into the evening, I know I went with the kids over to Portofino and had dinner one night, and you were not feeling well, so you had to go back.
I have to go back.
But it was such an awesome trip. It was just the four of us.
Yep.
And absolutely loved that one. What about February?
Well, that was unfortunately our last Universal trip, but
as pass holders.
As pass holders, yeah.
And what we felt was going to be in the foreseeable future. Later, it turns out we did get a chance to go back.
Yeah,
twice,
but
really,
I guess last Universal trip. I guess that shouldn't say last Universal trip. It should say are done being pass holders in February.
End of an era.
Because it just, the kids didn't really want to go unless they were going with people.
Yep.
And we have so much Disney we need to try to cover that it was just hard. And every time that money came out, I just felt like I could be taking that money and spending it at Disney.
Right.
And I'm the type of person, just me personally, when I'm at Universal, I miss Disney. Like I'm fine to be there. I'm happy, but I'm like, oh, I'm here, which I'd rather be down the street.
Yeah.
So that's where, but
do you miss Universal at all?
No.
None.
Not really.
Whatsoever. Wow. I do.
I again, the older I'm getting to, I do get my motion is not, I feel like it's going to be just that thing that probably gets older, and I'm going to have crystals, and then I'm going to have to go to the doctor, and they're going to shake them out or you can do all that, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Crystals where?
In your head or something.
Crystals in your head.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. Somebody's going to know, and they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's vertigo and stuff. Yes, my one client, she was telling me all about it too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I just hope it doesn't get worse. And one day when I am a lot older, I'm going to have that. But that's where it's just hard for me because I have to wear a patch every time.
Yeah.
I don't love going on the rides as much as I do Disney. And I just
Well, that's fair.
You miss it though?
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I miss more, like the actual parks and stuff or the people that I was with there, which included our girls for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would be a place we'd go often with Rob and Tina since they're not Disney people. So I don't know which part of it I miss more, but yeah, I would like when we do Halloween Horror Nights in 2025, I would like to look at adding a day or two ticket and make a whole Universal weekend. And maybe that's what we do once a year. And obviously figure out some time to get to Epic Universe if that's the time that we do it. So I think that I don't miss being there every month.
Right.
I don't miss that at all.
Okay.
But I do miss it. I wish once a quarter or something, it was they had quarterly passes, It's look, you can come for 3 days every 90-day period.
They should do that.
Right? Something like that.
That'd be cool.
Or and heck, they can be and you know what? Those 3 days have to be consecutive. And you have to stay at one of our hotels. Okay, fine. I will do it. But not have to, not have to spend the money of a pass every single month.
Yep.
But somehow get it where you could do that. So I think that would be cool. All right. We also did some car camping that month in February. We did a couple car camping trips this year.
Yes, we did.
And we had February going into this last Universal trip as APs, the car camping trip, what we're about to talk about next. I think it was one of those where we had a 4 or 5 week period that it was just boom, 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 boom. It was non-stop.
And that's also something that I can't do.
Yeah, and it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what was one of the highlights of March for us for sure, even though there were many?
Yes, and this was the home, as we call it, which stands for House of Mouse Expo. And that was really cool because We actually worked it, and then
we
had a
booth there,
booth.
which was super cool. We had never done anything like that.
Chuck and Amy ran it for us.
Yep, which was just amazing.
And then that's
because you and I have done 3 years now volunteering and working the event for helping Scott and Michelle out with this incredible event. Yeah, and this year was bigger and better than ever.
And that is where also we met Becky.
Yep.
From MEI.
Yeah.
And I think just little spark, little spark.
Yeah, it was. And that helped blossom into us, being one of the people that gets to partner with them. So just awesome month for all that.
It was.
Moving into April was a huge month.
It was. This was Main Street 16, our third.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working on 4.
We are working on the 4th.
And then we stayed at the Poly with Chuck and Amy after and had a little vacation.
Yeah.
It was a very long weekend for me. It was. We did.
It was the most least we've done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was the most that we did that little.
And then we
very,
totally polyed the whole time.
We did everything. Like we did a perfect
dinner,
poly day. I think.
Did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
we did.
amazing.
It was amazing. I mean, down to like doing the what are they? The kukui, whatever nut lays, and and doing Trader Sam's and dinner at California Grill, and then of course the Main Street 16 Challenge weekend. Like we packed the biggest bag ever because we went from the Treehouse Villas, to I don't even remember after that. No, that we had one other, didn't we? Before we moved to the Poly, I think we stayed at 3 places that weekend. Or something, because we were there
Riverside?
Thursday till Tuesday, right? So we were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and then maybe it was 3 nights at Treehouse, and then the 2 over at Poly. But I mean, you can't get much better than that.
No.
And that month was just insane. What about May? There's something about May.
Yeah, May was our magic cruise.
That was wonderful.
That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's where I think
a good one.
Yeah, and I think we became cruise people.
Yeah,
right.
I think
those
so.
ones were like, all right, I really do want to do this like a lot.
Yeah,
as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So we are planning a next cruise.
We are.
So we'll let you know when that is all booked. Yeah, that won't even be looking forward to 2025, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
That one we are looking out at 2026, but we do have something to look forward to in 2025 as well. June, we had the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yep.
We went down twice. We went down for the preview.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went down for the actual opening. We stayed at Port Orleans Riverside.
That was cool.
Which was like super cool. We did a lot that trip.
We did.
I can't remember it all.
We ate, I feel like, at all the places.
We did so many places. I think that was an Ohana one.
Yeah.
Possibly. Was that when we did Cape May?
Bar Riva, Cape May.
Oh, we did it all.
Yeah. I feel like we did. Yeah.
Because that was the original H2O Glow Nights weekend that I was going to pair up with the opening of Tiana's.
Yes.
And then the rain and all would just have different ideas for us.
So this year seemed to be third's the charm.
Yeah, right.
Literally. Because we moved Glow Nights 2 times, and on the third one we got it.
Yep.
And coming up, something else, we had 3.
Yeah.
And on the third time,
finally
2.
got to go.
Yeah.
So what?
Moving on to then July.
Yeah, moving on to July, we finally got to do that Glow
Nights.
And then we did something else, a little special we hadn't done in years.
Yep, this was Keys to the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So this was like a birthday little thing.
Yep.
It was fantastic. Loved it. Oh, I love it. I would like to do it once a year.
I would like to do it once a year. I was just going to say that.
It's so good.
And it's still so well priced at like a little over $100. It is still one of the best priced things you can do on Disney property, I think. Let's move into August. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite trips all year.
Really?
It was very last minute, first of all. So we had applied for media for D23.
Mm-hmm.
Which was that first weekend in August, and
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, and we kept waiting, and we had some friends that get media each year, so we're keeping in touch with them, and they were assuring us like they haven't said it yet, waiting, and it was literally I think 2 or 3 days before that it was like, okay, they've done all the invites, we're not getting one, because they were still sending them out that close, and we were thinking we might have to go to California very last minute. Like if we get an invite to this thing, we submitted for it. If we get an invite, we have to go.
Correct.
Did not get to go, so we booked this Swan Reserve stay very last minute. And then even more last minute, we were given these tickets to the Orlando Informer meetup for the 2 nights. So we actually tacked on a night over at Endless Summer for the Saturday night. I just remember this being, Halloween stuff was all out. I got that Halloween hoodie. We were walking back from the boardwalk and Epcot. Like this was
a great one.
Trip.
This was
it
a
was
really
so
good trip.
Loved it.
And I was glad that you did, because I do felt like I was okay, but I felt like there was a major disappointment for you with D23.
Yeah. We were hoping maybe this would be the year, and it was.
And I don't know why this year I had a major feeling we were.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure why. And then.
Womp womp.
I know. and it's so hard, but things all happen for a reason, and
but you don't have
fine.
a chance if you don't try. So
that's right.
We tried, and I think for us just to take our head out of it and not have to stare at social media all weekend and see a lot of the folks that were there, and us not getting a chance to be there was like, let's just go have fun.
Yeah.
And it was one of those last minute that, everything was last minute. Every last thing that we did was last minute, and it was just the absolute best.
It was great.
What about September? It's one of my favorites every year that we do.
This was when we didn't have universal passes, so we had to save our little monies and get and get Halloween Horror Night tickets, because the girls always love it. We got it. We got them for all 4 of us, and not only did we do that, but we went ahead and for all 4 of us got Express Pass. Yeah. So I need to start saving my pennies again for that, because literally that was so great.
Oh,
so great.
The couple years prior, I think you and I both sat there and said, we did 7 houses without Express Pass. We did 8 houses without it. The Express Pass is the greatest thing ever for Halloween Horror Nights.
It really was.
It truly is.
And to be with the kids, and that was so fun.
And it's one of those things, if you budget and you have the money to spend for that, it is so worth it. Say you look at this, we can joke all we want about Premier Pass and how expensive it is for Disney. It is 1,000% going to be worth it.
Oh, 100%.
Now, if you scrape by every penny just to afford it, of course, that's very different than if you just go, I can do that.
Right.
So, it's one of those things. But I love this trip. I went down a day early with Lacey. We went and saw 21 Pilots at the Kia Center. Stayed at Endless Summer. You guys came and joined us with Rob and Tina and the kids and their friends and stuff. Like, it was just so much fun. I love this trip.
Yep.
The year before was only better because on my birthday was when you and I headed down and we did Wilderness Lodge Club level.
That's right.
Which was like what we did before we moved for the Halloween Horror Nights. So that was a cool one. So we'll see what we do next year's. Actually, I know what we're doing. We're going to be in the Poly Tower with Chuck and Amy. So I already know that one is going to be up there. And then we may just have to plan. It'll be different now that Halloween Horror Nights, because it won't be the weekend of my birthday. I think my birthday's on a Monday next year. And we can't do it that weekend leading up to it. So we'll have to figure all that out. All right. What about October?
Well, this is our third and last final threes, which was our last minute and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We had 2 times before, 2 hurricanes this year that was coming to Florida, came and took us out. And then we were going. Jeremy booked a place to stay, and I was like, well, you know what? Let's just try.
And one of my best friends from high school, college ages was coming down.
That's right, Kathleen.
Former roommate, Kathleen was coming down, who I hadn't seen since our mutual friend had passed away and went to his funeral years ago.
Yep.
So this was all very, very last minute to come down, because we were in the flood, because we were supposed to be down there the weekend before she was getting there.
Right.
And then that got canceled for us. So that's why I never planned to go see her.
Correct.
And then I was like, all right, now we really can.
Mm-hmm.
So but it was just awesome. And then we got into
That was
still
still
Mickey's
amazing.
Not So Scary.
Still amazing.
It was
Loved it.
such an awesome
So
trip.
great.
The last minute ones,
Yeah.
we did a last minute like car camping. We did the last minute with the Swan Reserve. We did this last minute. Like those are just some of the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to see if we can do more of those this year coming up, where it is a little
Okay.
bit spontaneous in those types of ways.
We can do that.
November, pretty hard to beat seeing Josh Gad, but we did the day after.
And that was Victoria and Albert's. That was amazing.
Highlight of the year
Yes.
for you? I will say it is my
100%.
highlight of the year.
100%.
It's the highlight of my career, I'll call it. You can't call it a career, but of this show, I think for me, it
Okay.
is. I don't know that I don't know what I could say it as number one without just going back and truly thinking about it. But it's one of those where if somebody come up and just said like, "What is your best Disney like thing that you did in the past decade?" I'd probably just blurt that out first.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go back and see what else, but it was just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The
It
best.
was.
Yeah. Best
It was-
November, best memory from the year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not to outdo, December was very good.
Yes. December was fantastic.
It was wonderful.
It was amazing. So we started January off with our older kid.
Yeah. Oh,
And
look at that.
we
Like
are
full circle.
ending with seeing Ralph Macchio with Lacey.
Yeah.
It was super cool. I was like, we were like, did we tell you we were going to go see him? And she was like, I want to go. And I'm like, okay, all right. My brain's thinking real quick. And I'm like, a couple $100. Sure, I can pay for it. So I was like, sure, you can go, thinking we'll see if she really wants to go. You can go, but you can't bring a friend. She goes, I don't care. And I was like, oh, crap. She really wants to go.
Yeah.
So
And we did.
it was amazing with her. We needed our itty bitty time.
We
So-
did. And like,
That was great.
and it was a good like whole, I don't know, you can go back and listen to that episode too. It was a great like reconnection weekend. Like
It was.
it's been better around the old Stein dwelling. I feel like since that trip. Don't you feel?
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit like some things have changed
Yeah.
in all around, I think, in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need to get Kaylin and Lacey to go on a trip together.
Oh,
And if they made it back
If.
together,
yeah. Big,
then maybe that
giant
would
if.
make some changes
We'll
and
see.
some
Yeah.
ripples. But I don't know. But it was, I mean, anything else 2024, it was a good year. It was a big year.
It was.
A lot going on with all the trips and with everything else. But 2025 is got a lot going on too. We'll go over a couple of the details about what is coming in 2025. Disney's very good at announcing when things open during a year of time. Just so a lot of these we know they're opening in 2025. Some of them might have a season.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there'll be a summer. Then later they'll say, well, yeah, it's July. Then they narrow it down. They just, So we are getting at some time in 2025 the Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After. This will be the all-new show. It is taking over Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy over there in Hollywood Studios. I would assume this is probably pretty high on your list of things you're looking forward to in 2025.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love me some villains. I just picked up me a Hades sweatshirt from the Character Warehouse.
Yeah. This will be a neat precursor to Villains Land.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they're going to be able to test villains, not only I'm sure in design and interactions and all, but popularity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you bring Yzma out on stage all of a sudden at this show and the entire place just explodes, then you go, all right, let's make sure she's in there, you know? But if you bring out somebody else and everybody's just lukewarm, they're like, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the villain we thought. So you can get
Right.
some real, like, crowd testing and sourcing.
Absolutely.
I think by doing that. So that'll be super cool. Also in Hollywood Studios, talk about the things that are just a former shell of themselves since the COVID period. Little Mermaid, a musical adventure is coming
Yeah.
to that theater.
Finally.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That thing has been closed
Since COVID. So you're talking
That's almost
March
4 years.
March of 2020 You're talking it'll have been over 5 years because this isn't
Wow.
opening in March. I would assume it could be. Who knows? But it'll have been 5 years. So yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope that they maybe do one of those January 9th things for this one.
And all of a sudden, just give us an announcement and open it here
Something,
soon.
because I mean,
yeah,
it's still the same precedence, correct?
Well, the same stage and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a whole
Like,
new show.
I
It's
understand
involving all
that,
new things.
but-
Like,
Same seating. It's not like you had to go in there and
well, but I would assume. I mean, if you remember, that place always smelled like Barnacle Bill's jockstrap. So I don't think. I'm guessing. I'm hoping they at least went in with some bleach or something. I mean, I would assume that it is getting. I would hope a major overhaul inside as well,
Yeah.
with potentially all new seats, all new carpeting or whatever, all new soft goods. All I mean,
soft goods.
The waiting area. They haven't put up the signage yet. Like.
yeah.
So we'll see. And then I just hope that maybe this is the little kick in the pants that will get that area into Launch Bay doing something, which still, I think it blows everybody's mind. That's not where Monsters, Inc. land is going. It's
Yeah.
just, it's nuts that it's not doing that. Over at Epcot, we will get the Spaceship Earth Lounge.
That'll be interesting.
Very excited.
Where's that going again?
It's going in Spaceship Earth. It's going, I would assume it's in the areas. There's VIP areas that are up on that second level. That's where I did the
That's
DVC thing that time. So I think that's where it is all going. I'm very excited. I mean, it should be an elevated atmosphere. I'm hoping it'll have some good lounge bites. For obviously me personally, I hope this is somewhere to bring some really cool zero proof ideas and options and get a little fancy with them, get a little showy with them maybe. So I think that would be super cool. Also, of course, at Epcot, we're going to get the all new test track presented by General Motors. Are you excited for this? Do you remember World of Motion? Because I don't. Because it's supposed to, I think, pay homage to World of Motion.
I don't remember World of Motion.
And I think it's supposed to take us through the technology of vehicles along the years. So I think the indoor might be a slower paced thing, and then you're still going to obviously have a reason for high speed at the end. But do you miss Test Track
No,
at all?
not really.
Do you think you don't miss it because you just were tired of what it was, its theming and all? Like, are you excited for a new Test Track to bring new life to this thing?
I'm excited to see what they're going to do, and I hope I enjoy riding it.
Yeah.
So I would want to ride it more. But, I mean, I feel like I'm in a car enough.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I hate to say it like that.
That's why I think they really need to bring something special.
Because
you know?
it's just, I mean, it's a car ride.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And they're trying to test. It's neat when we first, with the kids and everything, like, let's see who's holds up and who wins,
Yeah.
really. Then you're just a car ride with whose car's going to win.
Right, which really means nothing.
Right.
And I think for us, Test Track was such, a lot of people almost, I feel like, want to skip Flight of Passage because they don't want to go through all the pre-show stuff. We would skip Test Track because we don't want to go make a stupid car. Like,
No.
we're over making cars.
100%.
And so you couldn't go skip that as a family. You could do it as a single rider.
Right.
But, I wanted to be able to just have that option. I hope maybe that's something that comes with this, is to maybe skip a portion like that. Because, I understand that is part of a pre-show that does add to the story because then they do rank your car. But they can assign you a car, and it can still be a part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike if you skip pre-shows on most any other ride, you are losing the story that's trying to be told. And even if you know what it is because you've ridden it 100 times, Disney doesn't want you to miss that part.
Right.
But here, nobody cares anymore. Let's just get past
and
it.
not only that, you might not need to with this new.
Maybe. That
would
whole
be
area
nice.
could be blown away. It might not be design your own anything.
Right.
I'll be surprised, though, if there's not still a design your own element.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just think so. Because people still do love it. Shoot, they love it so much. The guy around the corner has one in his driveway that I'm pretty sure he designed at Test Track. It's a Cybertruck with a unique paint job, and it looks like something straight off of Test Track.
It
that
so
somebody would-
does.
right? That like a 6-year-old would
100%.
design.
100%.
Yeah. So, coming to Magic Kingdom Park, we are getting a nighttime parade back with Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. That is coming in summer
Oh,
2025. So we have that narrowed down. And for Disney, summer is sometime between March and December. So look somewhere in that period for that to be coming. And I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
A nighttime parade. Oh, it's going to be so great.
Yes.
Especially a new nighttime parade.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Pirates of the Caribbean inspired tavern is coming in 2025. It says late 2025.
So that will be December.
Probably. They've had walls up for a while. I just am shocked that it's going to take so long.
Well, you know.
This was announced at the other D23.
4 years ago?
2.5 now. Yeah. So,
oh my goodness.
And now we're finally getting it. Animal Kingdom, not to be outdone, is getting Zootopia Better Zoogether, which of course will be going in Tough to Be a Bug.
Oh, that's right.
Thoughts, concerns, excitements.
Oh,
sadnesses.
excitement. I'm super excited. Yeah. I love Tough to Be a Bug.
Yeah.
And I mean, I believe it's kind of run its course.
Agree. And
There's
I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Right. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think that Disney's doing a very good job by putting Zootopia in there.
Yeah. I hope that we
Especially if
don't lose.
there's a 2 coming.
Yeah. And I hope we don't lose the effects and kind of the scare tactics. I hope we still get those. In the ways now, they'll have to do them differently, of the spiders dropping, of the seats and the poking you, of the spray of the fog. Like, I hope we still get those 4D effects that get people screaming, because that's one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Of course, it will be your last chance to ride Dinosaur.
But all year, guys.
But all year. Will not close in 2025. Get your rides in. We will see some things here shutting down soon in Dino Land, like Triceratops Spin, the games, all that type of stuff. In fact, they now are just resupplying the Funhouse little games with just generic prizes that you can just probably get from Oriental Trading Company. None are like the special little Mickeys or dinosaurs or any of the things that are themed.
Don't we have one?
We have one floating around here somewhere, I think. Because I think we got a Mickey at one point, actually, that was themed to that. And then there's a dinosaur, I think, somewhere as well. Disney After Hours is coming back in 2025. We will do one this year.
Okay.
We'll figure out an After Hours. We'll do it at Magic Kingdom because I just think that is where to get your money's worth. Okay. And then after that, we would figure out doing it at one that we think probably won't be getting your money's worth. And then we can let you know if it's worth it. So we can potentially waste that money so you don't have to, because you're already probably spending a ton on your trip. One of the things I'm very excited for in 2025, even though you and I always get the water park and sports add-on, is that everyone staying at a Disney resort in 2025 gets a day at whichever water park Disney has open on the day of your check-in for everybody on that reservation in that room.
And this isn't the year to, because we're fixing to renew. Mm-hmm. This isn't the year to play with this and not add them, is it?
We could. We would just have to only ever do water parks on the day that we arrive, which is not hard for us.
Correct.
And we do that a lot now.
Correct.
So it's something that would save us $200 on the year. Mm-hmm. So it is something that we could look at and think,
because we'd always add it back next year.
Correct. So maybe it is worth looking at, but like, we're excited because for us, and if you think, well, I'm a pass holder or I get water park add-on. Well, one, you might not need it. Two, we take the girls usually at least to the water parks once a summer. So now we can take them without buying a ticket. We will just stay on property.
Correct.
We'll have them on the room, and we'll go that day. We'll do the water parks and then stay the night, come home the next day. So I think this is really cool. And if you think it's not a great perk because you're not going to use it, then you don't really get to say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is one. There's no way to say that this is a negative thing. The only way to say it's negative, in which people do, is to go, well, yeah, they give us that for free, but everything else costs more. Okay, I'll just be quiet.
I think the sad part is if it will cost some people more is if, unfortunately, obviously, they are not locals, and it's a situation where they fly all day, and by the time they get out here to us, it's mid-afternoon. It's where then they won't feel that they'll have that much time. But again, it's free.
Yeah.
But then what are they doing on that end to fix it to come?
No, well, it's now the problem
So-
that we've always talked about,
Yeah.
but never experienced, but now we do, is going somewhere like Hoop-de-Doo where alcohol is included for adults, but we're not going to take advantage of it, so we just lose out.
Right.
Yes, I do get it, that people that are coming in, they're like, I'm not going to go to a water park the day I fly 6 hours or something.
Right.
I've traveled all day. Nothing is done for them. I do agree that is a negative. Disney can't just say you get a free water park day anytime you're here. They're going to lose money that way, technically.
100%.
So I don't know, because you say, well, it's usable on your check-in day or check-out day. Like, I don't know how
Oh.
and then you just can't get into all the things of saying, like when they used to do with, do you want to deny mousekeeping? We'll give you a $25 gift card.
Right.
You can't get into that.
Right.
Like, you want to deny your water park ticket? We'll give you a $25 gift. Like, so there really can't be an incentive because you can't use it. You just can't.
Right.
But otherwise, I think it's a complete bonus.
Oh, yeah.
I do think it can be worth arranging some travel to get in earlier or stay somewhere. MEI-Travel can help you stay somewhere off property that night before, come in early, go straight, to a water park the next day. Because that's the other great thing about Disney, unlike Universal, where to get some of those perks, you got to go check into your hotel.
Right.
Disney, you could show up, go straight to the water park, never have to go to your room on your arrival day.
Right.
Enjoy it for a little bit.
Correct.
So I think it's a really cool offer, and one of the coolest offers that Disney's given us.
I'm excited. I'm excited to do it with the girls. And I was already thinking while you were saying all this, like maybe starting out summer, maybe, maybe into summer and doing.
We could do an all-star, like you could do an all-star
do an
music
all-star.
suite and put 6 people on the room reservation. And even if you and I just say have it, or we don't have the water park one, that's 4 to 6 water park tickets for free on that day for us. So whatever the extra cost of that room is, I guarantee it's not going to outweigh the cost of what you would pay for those tickets for all these people.
Yeah.
Right?
And then,
'cause I can already see, again, each kid's bringing a friend. We've got 6 of it. Like,
or if you have 2 connecting rooms, which then that's again
also look at.
6.
Yep.
But I mean, no, 2, 4, 6, 8.
You could be talking 8.
That'd be 8.
Yeah. Now, again, you need to have people for that, obviously.
Right, but I'm thinking with the girls and stuff,
Yeah.
Kaylin would want to bring Talon, Lacey would want to bring Cassidy, possibly Alexia.
They'd have to bring their whole
and,
clan, wouldn't they?
Yep, that'd
Yeah.
be fun though.
Yeah.
Like, be fun to let them do that.
I love the idea of this.
I do
and,
too.
and one other thing you can
I'm
look
excited.
at, not that I think you would adjust your entire trip just for this, but it is something to think about, is split stays. Mm-hmm. Whether that is on property, or off property to on property, that might be something that you look at doing. I mean, especially for the overseas folks.
Yeah.
That's a good way to split up. A lot of them
Yep.
will do split stays. So you could look at doing something like that, and then boom, you get a bonus day on your day of arrival, and then that day that you're switching, you would also get a day for everyone. So I think it's an awesome perk.
Yep.
Anything else 2025 you're super looking forward to in maybe April or something for the first time? Do we have anything cool going on in then?
Oh yeah, we are going for the first time ever to California,
Woohoo.
Disneyland.
I mean, that's we don't have set in stone plans for much in 2025, yet.
Mm-hmm,
We
but
don't,
that's
we don't
set in
have our
stone.
room yet for Farts Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll get it here soon. It's been the holidays. But this is set in stone, and there is a separate countdown going on, and I am so pumped for this. I'm so excited to go experience this. Like,
Yep.
finally.
Where we're like paying off, we're paying on it. Like it's
Yeah, I know. It's like it's
Getting-
real. Like, we're going to
yeah.
book the flights here in probably the next 4 weeks. Like, then it's really real.
Oh wow.
Which will be, interesting. And I can't wait to talk about that stuff, especially for us here. Like, it's going to make more sense for us to fly out of Orlando. Well, that puts in a whole other, throws a whole other wrench in everything by having to say, all right, well, now it's a 2-hour travel time to the airport. And, we want to arrive and have plenty of time to get settled in and go to downtown Disney, even though we're not doing a park on the first day. So then you're like, We got to get out. So it's going to be interesting, and you
Yes,
guys
it
will
is.
get to follow along the
along.
way. So, of
Yeah.
course, go ahead and make sure you're subscribing, following, liking, all that good stuff on social at Main ST Magic, MSM Podcast on TikTok. Of course, hit that subscribe button, and you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And if you are ready for that next trip, of course, no matter where you want to go, our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. And obviously, Rhonda and I would be so super thankful, and it would be the best way we could possibly kick off 2025 is by you going out and leaving us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.